Dude, you've been doing a lot. What's it like so far being a dad? Like, we're working towards that now. Practicing is fun.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's it like being a dad? And I'm sure that's challenged your edges a little bit and forced you to adapt in ways you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. What's it like being a dad? It's the greatest gift, the greatest job in the world, times 1,000. And I think every day I wake up and just everything is filtered through a different energy, through a different vitality when you have someone that is, again, relying on you, someone who's watching you, someone who's learning from you, and all these different things. And so it's special. It's special, and I don't take it for granted. And I want to spend as much time and soak up as much time and energy and all of that I can. And so that requires me to make sure I'm taking care of myself. And I think a lot of people think, oh, like I have kids go first. Everything's the kids. But it's like, you can't forget about one, myself, two, me and my wife, Courtney. If we're not on the same page, if we're not, right, guess what? We're not showing up for our kid in the right way. And so that was a realization for me is I have to adapt my, I used to be the over optimizer. I got to do everything in this way and that way and this things and all the step routines. And now it's a little bit more flexible. I always say, be clear with where you want to go, flexible how you get there. And so for me, I've had to swallow that myself. And like, I can't do the long workouts that are scheduled and regimented. I can't do certain things because, again, I want to be present with my son when I can. And sometimes that means he wakes up in the middle of the night and I got to be there. And sometimes that means I got to pick him up early from daycare. And so I think you let go of more control. But everybody who tells me like, oh man, you must have no time and you're always doing this and that. It's like, yeah, but like, the energy and vigor I have for life has never been higher. And
I love the way you said that, man. Be clear in where you want to go, but flexible in how you get there.
Yeah.
That's a cheat code. If you guys get nothing else from our conversation, I mean, we might as well just stop recording now. Like, done. That's it.
Yep.
I guess my thought around that is, how cool is that you've developed this adaptability, right? It just shares with people that it's not a one size fits all model.
Yeah.
And also that it's inverse to what people think, right? It's paradoxical in the sense of people think, oh, and we put a post about this the other day on ALLSMITH around people think, oh, give. Yep. That's the most selfless thing you can do. But it actually ends up being kind of selfish because now you're giving what's left over after you've given, after you've cleaned up, after you've done all the tasks and checked all the boxes. Now you're giving what's left over not only to yourself, but over the course of time, right? Because we know consistency is the secret sauce.
Yep.
Now you're giving what's left over of you to other people in the future, including your wife, your favorite person.
Yep.
So it's like, what are your thoughts on how to psychologically reframe that for people that are such givers? They're attempting to do the next right thing, but it's kind of like this psychological paradox of the 1990s when people are like, hey, fat free is good. You're just like, I'm trying to do what the experts are telling me is good. And then all of a sudden I'm missing out on nutrient density. How's that been for you to realize that like my son deserves the best version of me? So I need to be adaptable. That might mean staying up later, waking up earlier, doing things that are not necessarily in alignment with the psychological expectations. But if you exchange expectation for appreciation or the energy that you said, your life can change forever. How's that been for you and Courtney as you've navigated raising this little one in the world?
Yeah. Well said. I think for me, it comes back to like, you can't pour from an empty cup cliche, which is true. And I also think you have to like drop control and drop expectations. And I think for me, I was a person that always tried to like have control over so many elements of my health, over my this, over my that. When you have a kid, it's like, again, it shows you that it's like man plans and God laughs. Like that's how it feels. It's like,
so good, man.
Don't try to, overthink, over control these things. Accept what is, face what's in front of you. And again, be flexible and adaptable and all that. And so for me, one of the biggest revelations coming out of traveling is like, don't like color your experiences before you have them. Like let them be, like let have the experience, and, you know, again, respond, and don't just be on autopilot. Don't just react to things. Like actually be present and meet the moment with what it needs. And so for me as a father now, there's so many more moments that I have to meet that are, again, having me pause, having me reflect more, having me think, how do I actually want to show up for this moment, for my son, for my wife? And the thing I always think about is, like, before I have a dog, before there was a Milo, we got the dog first, there was a me and Courtney. Before there was a Caden, our son, there was a me and Courtney. And before there was a me and Courtney, there was a me. And so, like, again, you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can pour into those things. And so you said it best. Like, people think like, oh, selfless, give. And then guess what? You leave your health and your mindset and all these things with the scraps, the leftovers. And if you do that, it's only a matter of time before burnout, before you lose yourself, before, you know, all of these things start to fall apart. And so for me, I know it doesn't always look the same. It doesn't always look perfect. And this is not a perfection. I have to do all of these things and I have to check all these boxes. But I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. I have to make sure that I'm dedicating time, energy, space to myself, to my wife, so that we can be better parents, so that I can be a better husband, so that I can be a better coworker, so that I can be a better community member. And there's still dreams and goals that we have. And I don't want us to lose sight of that either. And I want to make sure that we have the energy to still pursue those things, because, again, you don't want to, I think I heard it best, maybe it was Brad Stolberg.
He's great.
He's like, build an identity house. Don't put all your identity in one room. Because, again, if you put all your marbles in one basket and then you lose that basket, like, who are you? It's like me, you'll probably resonate with this. I have friends who are athletes as well, but, like, some of my teammates, it's like basketball and being a basketball player was their everything. Mm-hmm. And if you don't go play pro or you don't have an option after college, it's like, who am I? What do I do with life? What is my identity? Like, basketball was everything. So for me, diversify that identity and make sure that you are, you know, putting marbles in different baskets. I love to travel. I love to cook. I love to write. I love to read. And my identity is spread out. And so Brad Stolberg's house analogy is like, yeah, spread your identity out. That's so huge, again, man. you can make sure that you're diversified.
Huge. I did that the wrong way. Everything was basketball, and it's so fascinating when you look back. It's a mystery looking forward, but science looking back. And, like, my college career was trash. Like, look at my statistics. Like, it was terrible. And somehow somebody saw me playing in just like a adult league, like a pickup league type thing. They're like, man, this kid has something. It just never really fit at the college level. And so getting that phone call to go play professionally overseas, I'm so thankful for it, because I don't know that my life looks this way without that. Yeah. Not in necessarily a bad way, but just in sheer closure. Yeah. And what's interesting about it is that it became less about basketball. It became more about who am I? Yeah. And then you answer with I am ... for everything that comes after that sets the precedent for the rest of your life. Yeah. And I think I needed that experience and the deconstruction of the ego after high school to just be like, you are a human. Yeah. You want to help people. You want to serve. You're not a basketball player. You're not a shooter. You're not these labels that the world gives you. And I think that's a very important deconstruction for people to sit with for a moment. Like, you're not your job. You're not the things that you've done. Yep. You are your head, your heart, and your soul. And when those three things are in vibration, that vibration can then have a ripple effect into the rest of the world. It can vibrate up, but it can also vibrate down. Yep. And I think you verbalized it very well. Something that comes to mind a little bit about what you said is that the world wants access to, especially for men, what you do, not who you are. And when you shift that conversation, yep, people get weirded out by that. Oh, you go deep fast. Oh, you're going to navigate this thing where I actually have to think. This feels heavy. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to play. I was expecting that, hey, how are you? Good, you? Yep. But when you answer with like, yeah, I'm all right. Here's a couple things, a couple bullet points that are actually going on in my life. People are like, oh, I don't have time for that. Yep. What is it about that, where that feels, to the deep thinker, to the honest feeler, to the empath, yep. to the intuitive human, there's like, okay, there's something here that we can unpack. Like, let's play pickleball. Like, I'll hit and you hit back.
Yep.
But with most of the world, especially on the West Coast and East Coast, in the Midwest, I think it's a little different. Yep. It's kind of like, oh, that's a weakness. I'm going to weaponize that against you. You're not useful to me right now. You hit the ball to me, but I just grabbed the ball, and I see a weakness now. I don't really want to play. I'm going to move on to the next. Yep. I don't know if I'm verbalizing that exactly appropriate, but I feel like you've traveled enough to really feel that. Yep. What are your thoughts on that topic?
Yeah, it's a big topic. I think we live in the world of shallow these days, and we live in the world of surface level, highlight reel, instant gratification, quick fix, you name it, hacks, you name all of that stuff. And I think people are like then now programmed to take human interaction that way. But also you think about there's less human interaction just overall. And I think the people who do spend time coaching, working with people, they can go deep, they can ask the probing questions, and they can get beyond the surface level. And I think people get sometimes intimidated by that, or they're not so comfortable with themselves or not so comfortable with those deep answers, and so they want to kind of shield it away. And so I think one of the beautiful things with traveling is just seeing people for who they are. They know nothing about you, but again, how you treat someone you know nothing about, how you treat someone who it's not going to reward you if you treat them good. Like, that's such a good litmus test of character, good litmus test of who you are, kindness. And when you travel, you meet people who have nothing. You meet people who are in a situation that you might see as a privileged person from Western culture as like, oh my God, like I want to help this person, but they're not unhappy. They're beautiful. They're smiling. They're laughing. They're kind. They're all of these things. And so for me, it kind of makes you step back and how do I get comfortable with myself? How do I spend time, reflect, and do all of these things? And so journaling practice and making sure I do, meditation, breath work, and all these things are the tools I use. It's not everybody has to use these tools, but you better be okay with being bored. You better be okay with being with yourself. I know a lot of people who can't spend 30 minutes by themselves. They can't spend 30 minutes without watching a YouTube video, scrolling, say driving to work or eating a meal. Like you see people, it's like, and I'm the same way. I'm not higher than this. Like every time we eat a meal, me and my wife are like, oh, do you want to watch some YouTube video or something? It's like, we can't just sit and eat a meal together. Like where have we come? And so with all of that, I think it takes intentionality. It takes practice to look someone in the eye, to make sure that you are seeking out connection. I think we all know, we probably talked about it on this podcast, but Harvard Health Study, 80 plus years, longest running health study. What do they find? Relationships. This is the number one thing. It's not cold baths. It's not sauna.
That's why we created ALLSMITH Social Club. And it's fascinating because some people choose to use it. Yeah. Some people are like, I'm just paying for workouts. Yeah. And it's like, I get it, but this whole thing was not created to exchange money for workouts. It was to create a collective, to create an identity. Who are you becoming with fitness as the vessel?